Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Lisa from the Yohos. Now today is one of those crafty, cozy days. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you've been here before, thanks so much for coming back. And anybody who has been here before or has watched any of our videos, we have a lot going on right now. I just needed a day. You guys, I just needed a day. One of those days just to sit and craft. It's so good for the soul, even though later on I run into a bit of a snag, but that's okay. Grab a seat, get cozy, grab your tea or your coffee, and let's start the video. You guys, this is going to be a good video. Can I just tell you, my mom and I have been searching for this air dry clay forever. Okay, yes, we can go to Michael's and pay up, and that's totally fine, but we just want to experiment a little bit before we really dig into any kind of major crafting with it. So you guys, yesterday I went to Dollarama, I went up and down the aisles and I thought, hey, why don't I try over where the kids crafting section is? I didn't even think about it. It didn't even dawn on me. I don't know. Well, let me just tell you, I found a pack for $1.75. Yes, as soon as I got home, unpacked the groceries, I was on it, you guys. I was so excited to finally find this stuff. My mom and I have been itching to try air dry clay in a mold. We've seen it a few times online, and let me just tell you, I was giddy when I found these molds at the thrift store. They were 99 freaking cents for two of them. These things retail online for $30 a piece, which, don't get me wrong, if I really love this, then I might have to search another option because I don't know that I'm going to use this swirly one for anything today. I'm definitely using this flower mold though. Now, I found those molds a few months ago. That's why I was itching to find the air dry clay, my mom and I both. So this is where it is going down, you guys. So I'm going to call this technique number 1. I am going to podge this little container that I got from the dollar store. Now, I don't think it's wood. I believe it's like a hard cardboard of sort. Anyways, so I am going to put podge on that. Now, I don't know. I'm sure everybody knows what Mod Podge is. It is just essentially kind of like a white glue sealer. Tissue paper works fantastically. There's a few different methods to this podging technique. I just rip it and stick it. Some people wet around if they want to be very precise on the actual design. I just want to put the whole thing and wrap it like as if it's been painted like that. So now you just want to put that aside and forget about it for a little while until it completely dries. Now this next step, I decided to put down this parchment paper. It was really the only thing I could find that I knew wouldn't stick, anything wouldn't stick to, because I noticed that my matte stuff was sticking to it and it drives me crazy. So anyways, I am just going to give this a dust with cornstarch. Now I was pretty liberal with this. I didn't want it to stick. I didn't know how thick to make it. I was really just winging it, you guys. I didn't really look anything up. I just wanted to get my hands in there and play. Okay, like I say, I've never used this before. The only kind of clay I've ever used is like the polymer clay, I believe it's called. I made a few pairs of little earrings. One that you have to actually put in the oven to cure or bakes it, and it goes rock hard. Now this stuff is a whole other ball game. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to try this clay, because unlike the other clay that comes in a million different colors, this really only comes in a natural color like this one, and I believe a white. And I wanted to see if I could make something and paint it. I thought that would be kind of neat. I'm just gonna cut it off with just a putty knife. Ooh, so far this is nice and soft. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go get a Ziploc baggie so I can roll it up and keep it really freshy fresh. Just one sec. So I made this video for my mom because I won't see her for another few more days. And let me just tell you, she's going to be excited to watch it because I've already just told her about the clay yesterday. I don't know how thick to make these things. I think for each of these flowers, I'll probably just use, I'm going to try a little ball first to try. Oh, it's really soft. I'm gonna do one at a time because I honestly have no idea how fast this stuff dries, because I know I want to put it right on top of this thing and I don't want air to get at it. Okay, so all I've done is I'm just kind of wiping away. I don't know how necessary it is though. My baby. Oh, my baby. Oh. Shut the front vent. Look at her paw. Hold on. I love her. Oh my god. I can't with her. She's pretty dang cute, isn't she? So now this is where I kind of had a bit of a hard time. I didn't know if I made it thick enough or too thick, or I had no idea, but it wasn't coming out of the mold until I flipped it over and really just kind of bent it back on itself. That's what I found worked best. Let me tell you, it was really satisfying seeing all the detail that the clay indents were. Oh, very satisfying. Now this rose was not dry yet, and that was the whole point. I find it a little bit more malleable when it's wet. Yeah, so nice. So darn cute, I can't. And that's why voiceovers happen, because there was no way I could do any of this and talk at the same time, you guys. So I've just glued it on with this Gorilla Glue. Now I'm going to tell you ahead of time, don't use this, please. I thought it was going to be fantastic, but stick to E6000. If you guys have never used E6000, go grab yourself a tube. You'll thank yourselves. Perfecto. And then I'll use this piece and I'll scrap it together at the bottom here. So I'm just going to let this dry completely, and then I'm going to play around with it some more. So this is kind of how I work, you guys. I kind of cluster craft, if you will. So now for this craft, we're still going to be using the air dry clay, except I'm going to do the really big rose because I don't know, it's kind of cool, and this mug is massive. I'm using the exact same method I did for the small one, 100% the same, just with more clay and on a bigger scale. I'm just trying to pull it away gently without ripping it, but it is giving me a hard time here. Oh, there we go. I feel I can just roll it off. Oh yes, oh my gosh, that is nice. Oh. Quite a bit on it. I think I'm being overly generous, but hey, you know what? I'd rather that than it fall off. How is this gonna work, guys? Ooh! There. Oh, perfectly. Again, I'm just gonna set that aside and let it dry. I can't do anything with it right now. So that brings us to craft number 3. Now this, to me, I feel like it was the easiest one, and I'm hoping it's gonna turn out just as cute as I have it in my head. So I want to have a little soap holder. So I have the cutest little bar of soap that I have thought maybe to put down in our new laundry room eventually once it gets finished. I really want it speckled because it's a really nice tan color. So I want to get some pepper. I hope this works, and just sprinkle it over top. I might have went a little heavy-handed there and just smush it in. Oh, that's really cute. Let's do this. Now, because the bar of soap is very small, I am just experimenting, you guys. I am just going to put a clear spray top coat over top of it and see how it fares up over time. If it fares out well, then I'll make one bigger and a little more substantial. But again, I'm just playing around here. I like I want to add little holes. I'm going to do that. And I do not want water pooling, so I figure if I put little holes in here, then the water will drain out, in theory. All right, I'm just going to let that dry. So number 4 of this, crafting with this air dry clay. This is super easy. I feel like this is probably almost the most easiest. The other one was fairly easy as well. So I am just rolling it out as flat as I can get it and drawing almost like the shape of an ear. I want to make like a little artist's palette. I am going to paint this one, and then I'm going to put a clear coat over top of it. So that's a totally different technique compared to the other 3. And I just want to see how it fares out over time. I'm going to put my little earrings in it on my nightstand. I just thought that was kind of cute. So again, I am just going to set these aside for overnight, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, so I'm filming this very early in the morning, so I'm not going to make any noise until everybody leaves. This has turned out perfectly. Well, perfectly-ish. The actual flower came off completely, so I just used my E6000 and stuck her down and no problem. This is how I make my white wax. This is just a regular wax. It's just a clear wax. I'm going to put a little blob. Maybe I'll do 2 blobs. And just a dollop of wax. So once you mix it up really well, you just literally slather it on and then dab it off. I found dabbing worked the best rather than wiping. Dab it off and that's it, it's done. Okay, moving right along to the second craft. Let's finish this one up. Well, you guys, this was the one I was really looking forward to the most, and I don't know, I got up in the morning and it had all cracked and some of the pieces were falling off. So I'm going to do a little pivot, I guess if you want to call it that, and I am going to glue this on with my E6000 because that other stuff, I think it was more like a crazy glue, whereas this E6000 just is more of a longer setting glue, like it takes longer to set. I don't know, but let's try to fix this. I find that's what DIYing and crafting is all about, is you have to practice until you learn it, because not everybody knows how to do things right away. So this is where I'm taking along with this little journey, is definitely E6000, people. Don't screw around with it. And actually looking back on it, I probably would have sprayed a spray primer on this first before I stuck that large flower on it. Okay, you guys, so I have just kind of patched it, if you will, with this drywall compound. We shall see. I'm not going to go too crazy around the edges because I have an idea for like a finish on here, but I just kind of wanted to hold it into place here. Oh, well, we shall see. It looks to be a bit of a crap show, but maybe it's salvageable. We shall see. I don't know. Troubleshooting. I'm just gently sanding where the edges are really raised. I don't want to go too crazy with it because I do like this texture. It's just a bit much right now. I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to spray it. It's all I have right now with this satin finish, a granite satin finish, because I kind of want to make it maybe look like cement, but I'm not sure yet. So I'm definitely going to spray it with this and hope for the best. Please wish me luck. I'm just using the baking soda and acrylic paint technique. I am just slathering it on, you guys, to make it kind of look like old and like it's been sitting outside and like it's a concrete planter. Once I'm done that, once it's dry, I got my white wax out again, and you guys just slather it on, have fun with it, and just dab it off. I found works best, and it kind of gives you that like muddled look. Really cool. I actually did end up putting a couple of coats of clear over top because this will be going outside just for extra protection. This worked perfectly. I'm very happy with this. Wait till you see. I always keep these little scrap pieces. As you can see, I've sprayed other things with this. I just put it like that and give it a spray and bring it in and let it dry and then flip it over and do the other side. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do the other side first. Oh, she's cold out there. So I'm just gonna let this dry. That white is just from the baking soda that I used. Okay, let's finish up this little jewelry holder artist palette, I guess you could call it. So it dried perfectly. I am just going to put all of the colors of the rainbow in each of these little holes. I also put a white over top of the entire thing. I think I did it first, but I definitely did it after because I did slop in a couple of spots. Whatever, some of these brushes aren't the greatest. I'm just gonna blame that. And then once this was completely dry, I then put it on my little piece of wood and sprayed it with the clear coat as well. Well, you guys, that's it. What did you think? Tell me in the comment section below which one you liked the best. And don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on your notification bells. And when you do, you get notified every single time we upload a new video, which is every Saturday. Bye. Have a good weekend.